My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. This is the home of the 5 minute or less video. As a former IRS agent, I worked there for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades, so I've been doing this a long time. I started my YouTube channel making sure they're 5 minutes or less because they really don't take any more than 5 minutes to communicate what you need to know if you know what you're doing. I started my YouTube station for three reasons. So A, you don't get ripped off. Two, there's a lot of garbage on the internet. People who are salespeople having scripts talking to you, and really to educate you and to inform you. So we're available for representation and consultation. We have a full service IRS resolution firm. I've worked about 10,000 cases in my life. Had a heavy inventory at IRS, and you can find me in the description section below if you need to contact me. One of the things I want to talk to you today about is how can IRS find out what your income is if you have no records? I get that question a lot. Well, I've been cash, I'm self-employed, and how does IRS really know how much I make? How does IRS really know how much I put away or what I'm doing? How does IRS find out all these things? So what I want to do is to tell you as a former IRS agent some of the things you need to know about that. Number one, IRS has a plethora of information all about you on their computer system. They have LexisNexis. They can check credit card records. They can check DMV. They have about 20 sources that they can find out about you, just not even leaving their computer within 20 minutes. And I'll have a whole sheet of information about you, from DMV to property searches to business licenses, like I said, to credit cards. They know everything, in fact, about you. So if you were to come into my office when I was a former agent and you would say, I don't really have any records, how are you going to know what, in fact, I've made? Really, I just need to know really where you live. I can back into your income really very easily. Now, you can trick the system and you can do all sorts of other things. You can certainly do that. But the best way to back into someone's income is just to get a current financial statement. Let's say you didn't want to give me a current financial statement. If I know where you live and I know what your rent is, I can pretty much back into your income. You should know that the Department of Labor goes ahead and has statistics on every county in the United States. You can actually look those up. You can look at go to the IRS portal, irs.gov. You can look at for housing and utilities. On their website, how much are the average cost. They go by state and by county, so put in your toolbar IRS national standards for housing and utilities, and they'll tell you how much the Department of Labor attributes to what your housing and utility should be. So let's say I knew you had a $2,000 rent payment or something like that. I would know that the income you have coming in generally to support yourself is around $5,500 to $6,000 a month. So IRS attributes about a 1/3, maybe 28% to 1/3 attribute to rent, and then everything else goes food and clothing, car payment, gas, insurance, medical. So if you have a $2,000 rent payment, I'm going to probably attribute to you on your 1040 somewhere around $70,000 a month, a year. That's just a general average. Another way, if you had a business, for instance, and I wanted to find out how much you made, let's say you had a little sub shop and you want to know how much, and you said, well, I don't have my records. I don't have my records. How do you know how much I've made? I would just go ahead and summons two vendors, your bread vendor and your cup vendor. I'll find out how much your average sandwich cost, and then go ahead and multiply how much bread you bought and how many cups you bought, and then I'll figure what that is. They have market specialization programs for all the industries you have, and IRS is very clever. They can just drive around the block, find out what that neighborhood is like, and back out to that income. Also, they know how much all the tax returns are, all the incomes are in the zip code that you live in. IRS has statistics for all those. So I'm just trying to tell you, sir, certain ways that IRS knows about you, so you want to make sure whatever you do is file clean as you can. If you're having a problem or you haven't filed returns and you need to do that, just go ahead and give me a call. But IRS can back into your income and expenses anytime they want to, because they have books and books and books of all this information. Anyway, if this was helpful, give me a subscription. Happy to answer any questions you have. Just hit me up. Happy to help you solve your problem. Thank you. There's a description button, a subscription button. Just hit it in there. If you have a comment, leave the comment. You want me to do a YouTube on something, I'm happy to do that too. Thank you.